My name is Amish Thakkar. I'm the part of the product management team, take care of data governance products, both on-prem and cloud. A quick disclaimer, some of the information you may hear is forward-looking and subject to change. Okay, so first things first, right? What we have available in the cloud, which as a part of the cloud data governance and catalog application, is a new solution built in the cloud, true cloud native solution, built from the ground up with a brand new platform, which is more metadata driven, and it brings the two application governance and catalog together. Right? It is not a lift and shift of Axon and EDC. So we haven't taken Axon and EDC and just put them into a single product in the cloud. It has been designed from scratch with a view for keeping in mind the next 5 to 10 years, as we have seen the market evolve over the last 5-6 years. And so a lot of the design philosophies, the functionality that we have are built on keeping the next few years in mind, and some of the evolving use cases, one of them being the data democratization and so on. Right? So again, it's a brand new true SaaS governance and catalog application rolled into one, built from the ground up. Right? And so as we go through the demo, you will see that there are some differences. Of course, use case wise, we do want to cater to all the use cases that we had supported with on-prem, but the approach may be a bit different. Right? The second thing I want to highlight here is that one of the key philosophies that we had kept at the helm of things was that we want to automate things as much as we can, right? So wherever there is an avenue for automation and take away that manual task and make it automated, we will continue to push for it. Of course, you will see some of those happening today, but there's a lot more that's coming out down the road as well. And ultimately, the goal was to bring again, both the governance and catalog application and drive a persona-based views really over time so that we can give the right information to the right user, right persona as they go through the same application. Now, again, as we started looking at building this application from scratch, there are a few key tenets that we kind of considered, right? So one of the capabilities that we have added as part of the application is the serverless component of it, right? What it allows you to do is scan any asset in a serverless manner, so without any deployment whatsoever. Now, this applies to the cloud sources only. So for most of the cloud sources, you don't need any deployment. The application itself is, of course, in the cloud as a SaaS application, but then we also have the agent itself is not required anymore with the serverless option. Now, so with the for the cloud sources scanning, you can do the serverless option. There is, though, an option to deploy a secure agent for even cloud sources, which are, for example, say behind VPC, or you want to scan in and bring in the on-prem sources. So you have serverless option that allows you to scan anything without any hardware at all. And then there is a secure agent option, which does require to deploy secure agent, but it will basically require you to deploy agent, and it can be used for both cloud as well as on-prem sources. Second, the multi-cloud option, right? So we, from the get-go, again, the support has to be around multi-cloud, so be it able to scan those cloud systems, cloud vendors, be it able to integrate with them, as well as bring the sources on. The third thing was to drive the integration. So as we started looking at application, how can we drive a more seamless user experience as products works across various avenues, right? For example, CDGC is integrated with cloud data quality. Will be integrated with data marketplace. Down the road, we are looking at integrations with MDM and so on. But idea was to keep it as seamless and as usable as possible. We also wanted to use AI, of course. So idea is, again, to the point of automation that I made earlier. How can we use AI and ML to really make the life of the end user more productive by automating a lot of tasks, by recommending a number of things that the user otherwise would have to do things in a manual manner, right? That itself, just looking at millions of assets and doing things automated, even if you can achieve a small percentage of automation there, that itself is a huge productivity gain. But of course, we are striving for a lot more. And so you can imagine the benefits the users will get with all the automation and AI that we have. And last but not least, the platform was built to be open and extensible. So we will have a rich set of APIs available that will allow you to integrate with third-party systems to either to bring data in or to pull it out and surface that information somewhere else. Now, as we started looking at this, of course, the goal really was to drive common understanding of the data, right? We are seeing more people, more consumers of data, and unless they have a good understanding and common understanding of what the data is all about, uh, you can only get so much insight from the data, right? So the value that you get from it is rather limited. And so driving this common understanding, right, was an important aspect. Quality being an important aspect of governance for a while now, and it continues to be critical piece of information. And so, of course, with the cloud data quality integration, we can surface and show you data quality aspects of the governance and catalog product. Privacy, of course, is a big theme right now. How can we identify and surface privacy information, PII policies? Where do they apply? And what's really happening with the data, right? So we surface a lot of that information. We have also introduced this concept of AI model governance. Right now, if you're familiar with the AI program, in most organizations, it's a rather closed team, right, who is responsible for AI. So there is not much transparency when it comes to the AI model. But a lot of the regulations, a lot of the things that we do for other data also applies really equally to the AI model governance, right? And so with the introduction of this AI model governance, what it allows you to do is document the AI model so there is more information and a common understanding of the model is about. It allows you to document, say, how the model was created, so what data was used for the training, validation, or and what is being used in production today, which production entities are using this in production, or which notebooks, for example, right? You can also document how the model is doing with respect to certain KPIs such as drift and so on, right? So the idea is really is to start giving transparency around the AI model, make the AI models more explainable so that people across the organization can benefit from it as well, right? And of course, we also want to drive transparency as well as the lineage, which is an important use case altogether. And then Kate talked about the democratization angle to it with the marketplace. And of course, we want to drive a lot of those things with the help of the automation, right? And so across the board, with be it data quality, be it detecting privacy information, be it building the lineage out, and so on. What all can we do with respect to automation that makes again life easier for everyone? Now, again, as I said earlier, it's a single unified application for both governance and catalog rolled into one. When we were selling the on-prem products, we saw a lot of customers buying both, and it's a fairly high number where both customers bought both governance and catalog, and often data quality as well, right? And so it was only natural for us to bring this together when we started looking at the application on the cloud. Now, it does give you access to all the business and technical assets in a single place. Of course, the idea is to drive the personalization, the view, what the users see or do not see with the help of the roles that has been assigned to that user so that you get the right information that you desire. It has powerful search capabilities, some advanced queries as well that helps you get to the information that you're looking for. But one of the additional capabilities which did not exist either of the Exxon or EDC is the browse capability, right? For a person who is not familiar with the content, doesn't know what to look for, the browse allows them to kind of get used to the data, go and explore things out there so that they can see what's available and then use that information as and when needed, right? So between search and browse, it gives you a good balance in terms of exploration as well as getting to the results that you're looking for. We also have workflows built into the product, so the whole ticket management system to initiate the approval process or request a change, combined with the workflows that allows you to go through the various aspects of the approval process and complete those tasks, right? We also have a fairly rich dashboarding capability, which allows users to create multiple dashboards completely customizable based on their needs as well. We talked about the AI model governance, so I'm not going to repeat it, but again, the idea is to drive the explainability of the AI itself. So also, as we started building this application, as I said, right, one of the, of course, the big goal was to have a metadata-driven platform and build a metadata knowledge graph on top of it. And so a lot of the insight that we provide, be it through the profiling and the value frequencies that we provide, the lineage, the overlays, and so on, really gives you a lot of meaningful information to start capturing more and more value from the data that's already available as part of your enterprise. And last but not least, being a cloud product, uh, of course, the big goal is to have a hassle-free deployment. And of course, this is a true SaaS, does not require, it's a multi-tenant solution. So it's quick deployment. And with the serverless option, as I said earlier, it also gives you an option of scanning certain sources and bringing the information in without having to deploy any hardware whatsoever. Of course, there is an option of secure agent, so you can do that as well. Now, here's a list of scanners that we have already available. Again, we started looking at the cloud, and so you will see a big bias towards the cloud sources as of now. But over the next few months, you will be seeing more on-prem sources being also added to really complete the scanner support. And ultimately, the goal really is to drive all the governance and cataloging use cases, be it analytics governance or democratization, privacy. Down the road, we are also looking at master data governance with the integration with the customer 360, Rep 360, and so on.